Hey guys, it's the WalterFootball.com After Dark show from May 31st, 2024. We're going to be talking about some random NFL, golf, whatever bets that we're making. I'm sure we'll discuss some basketball stuff too. So going to go over a lot of things today. Before we introduce our co-host here, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the link in the description for the merch store. As you can see on the screen, we have a lot of new shirts here. We have Rodgers versus Butker, Make Football Great Again. We had the money laundering one that we had for a few weeks. November is Sloth Month. I don't know if you saw this one, Tom, but November is Sloth Month. I'm going to be making a shirt for every single deadly sin. I already have some ideas for envy, greed. I need some for lust, wrath, and the other ones, but we'll get to it. But I know like March is going to be Greed Month. You guys will see why. So those shirts will be available soon. We have Pedo Pete, who you want to support a guy who imprisons his political opponents. You can buy the shirt. And there are 4 lights, of course, reference to Star Trek, and brand new. We now sell aprons. Butker was right apron. You can get that. It's a recommendation from Chris Williams in the chat. He said you should sell Butker was right aprons. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And so I made it so you guys can buy that. Can't wait to get one. My wife thought it was hilarious, by the way. So yeah, I can't wait to get that. Also, please consider super chats, super stickers. Last time we had a show with no super chats or super stickers, we had like 71 or 73 cents from YouTube ads. It was pretty painful, but we've had some good ones recently. John Sanders yesterday at the 211, but we had Kevin Kovac $15 worth of super stickers on Tuesday. John Sanders with 911. We had Slew last week. Michael McGee as well last week. Germ, DeGeneron. You guys have been so awesome with your contributions. So if you guys want to keep the show going, that's a great way to do it. Also, you could buy the book or my book on Amazon, Jerks of the College Years. This is like Jerks of the Week, but for my stories at Penn State, I spent 6 years at Penn State, one of which was with my co-host living next door to me, and he saw some of these weirdos like Joseph Scarfman in the bottom right, who was terrified of spiders. And our co-host could speak to this guy if he wants, but without further ado, our co-host is Quacky T. Tom. He's back from his hiatus. But everyone's back from their hiatus. Last week, I made this joke on Tuesday, but we had the absolute worst co-host of all time last week. They had nothing impressive to say. They had nothing to say at all, in fact, because I did the show by myself for 4 days.
Oh,
so
I was like, I hope they're not going to come back and watch this.
Yeah. No, how's it going, Quacky?
Oh, geez. I'll tell you what, Walt, I have a very important announcement to make here. About a month ago, you were on the show telling me that you don't think anyone's ever won a crane game.
Uh-oh.
Well, I went to get some boba tea. I'm recently into the boba scene, I guess. It's right down the street from, I can walk to there from the office. They had a little crane game. And wouldn't you know it, I won a Pokeball out of the crane game. Now, I didn't get video footage, but I did get a video. Okay, here's the thing. I got a video before, and you can see the Pokeball in there, and then there's a video of me reaching into the prize door to retrieve it. But, and it was, I actually got 2 of them. So I got two Pokeballs. And my coworker was like, I was flipping out. I was like, oh man, I was like, I can't wait to tell Walter I won the crane game. She was like, what are you freaking out about? I was like, you don't understand. Like my buddy of 20 years says he's never seen anyone win it. So here we are, man. I have witnesses.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Are they paid off witnesses? I don't really know. Did you buy them and then place them inside the machine? I'm very skeptical here. I have to see proof. I have to see video proof, or it didn't happen.
All right. Well, hey, it's right down the street from my office. So I'll be back.
Okay.
And I'll be playing I think I spent like $5 on the game nice. Total. So well, yeah, that's where I'm at. But well, great to be back. Just got a bunch of random stuff to go. I was really into the. I was pumped to win that crane game. So, but good to be back. Got some Game of Thrones to go over and just some other random, all the random banter we come up with, which is always fantastic. So
yeah, for sure. We on Saturday we were kind of speculating where you were well, actually on Tuesday as well. And Chris in the chat was talking about potential duck orgies, and he mentioned all the ducks like Scrooge McDuck and Daffy Duck and Ace Duck and all these ducks that you may have been a participant in on Saturday, but apparently you just you passed out. That was my theory. That was my theory, but like we had other people guessing something else.
I'll have to go back and watch it. Then I didn't even think to go back. Yeah, I did pass out. I've been burning the candle at both ends, so to speak. But hey, speaking of all the different ducks, so I drink that Crystal Light lemonade sometimes. Do you remember Donald Duck orange juice? It came in the can and put it in the freezer. Donald Duck brand orange juice. It's definitely a thing. I
remember like Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse popsicles, but like no, I don't.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely a thing. In fact, sometimes you see them at, like, if you go to a dollar store, you'll see them in there. Donald Duck has orange juice. I call the lemonade Crystal like Daffy Duck lemonade. Why can't we get more ducks in to get their own drinks? I can't believe you haven't heard of Donald Duck orange. It came in a frozen can. It was like from concentrate.
No, I don't remember. Maybe I'm 4 or 5 years older than you. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's ahead of my time.
Search it. Just search Donald Duck orange juice. I guarantee you the pictures will come up. Slew. I wonder if Slew. The cans. There they are, man.
I've never seen this before.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the frozen cans too.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I've never seen this before.
Really? I feel like I used to get it when I was a kid, but maybe not.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That, like, when I don't know how old you were when you're getting this, you were like maybe 7. I would have been like 12, so like I wouldn't have gotten this, Although my sister are pretty close in age, so but she she never got this either, I don't think. I've never seen this before.
Now hold on, Walt. Are you suggesting that there's a maximum age to be able to consume Donald Duck orange juice? You think once you hit a certain age, it's off limits? It's like once you're too old to trick or treat, you're too old to drink Double D.
I think it's like there's like a gap where it's not cool, and then it becomes like, hey, I don't care anymore. It's like it's like anything else. Like when I was a kid, which is like my son right now, he's into Super Mario Brothers. Like he's really obsessed with it, and I was too. But when I was 6, 7, 8. When I was 6, I got my Nintendo, and of course when I was 9, I got my Super Nintendo. I kicked my my friend Will out of my house to get a Super Nintendo.
That's a great story.
And so I was I loved Mario Brothers, but then when I got into high school, I was like, I guess Mario's not that cool anymore, But then, like, when I got to like college or whatever, and the new Mario games coming out, I'm like, oh, this is nostalgic. I used to play Mario as a kid. Let me play the new Mario. So, I think there's like a gap where you just can't do this sort of stuff. It's usually probably in high school because you don't want to be made fun of. But then once you become an adult, you realize that like, hey, that's so stupid. Why do I care what other people think? But then again, like, I don't think some people really grow up too. So that you have to consider that.
It's true. It's something funny. Like, I don't know what it was like. When I went to school, like, I don't know, you always had to have like the coolest clothes or whatever. Or like when I was in middle school, like wearing like Nike or like Adidas brand, like that was like, I don't know, like that was, maybe my school was just weird. But now it's like, do I really need more than 7 shirts? I mean, how many people are like, other than, I mean, I do have dress clothes for work. In fact, I'm in dress clothes more than I'm in regular clothes nowadays. But like, what's somebody going to say to me? Oh, didn't you wear that shirt last week? Like, yeah. Like, you ever hear of laundry? You freaking dozy.
See, I'm the opposite. I tend to buy more clothes than I need, so I don't have to do laundry for like months. Like I can go like 2 months without doing laundry. Just because I have like so many clothes, and I kind of set that up. I'm like, I just don't like doing laundry. So whenever I do laundry, it's like a mountain of clothes. I don't know how it fits in my washer or my dryer, but that's how I've always done. Like at Penn State, I never did my laundry at Penn State ever. I would always bring my clothes home. I never knew how those washing machines worked. I would always just bring my clothes home because I had so many clothes, just because I didn't want to do laundry.
What's the most mismatched socks you've had? Like, here's the thing about the socks. One time I'm not joking because I did I had like a mountain of laundry day, like sort of like you mentioned, and I laid out all the mismatched socks. Dude, I'm not kidding. I had 23 mismatched socks. At what point do I just say start over? Every straggler's just got to go. All the matches can stay. Start keeping an inventory. 23 mismatched. That's too many. That's borders on the obscene.
That is crazy. I can't wear mismatched socks. Like I need to wear like the same sort of sock. I just can't wear a mismatched sock. And I wear my socks inside out. That is something that a lot of people know about me. Yeah. And everyone's like, "Oh, that's so weird. Why do you do that?" I'm like, and I can tell like there's something called homoclites and heteroclites, where like it was in a book. I recommend it to you. What was it called? I always forget the name of the book, but anyway, it was about like
First Rate Madness.
Yeah. First Rate Madness, when they discussed like homoclites for people who like can't think outside the box. The sort of people who need laugh tracks on TV shows, and then like heteroclites are like people who can think outside the box. I can always tell these people like apart. Where I like if someone sees I wear my socks inside out, I'm like, you should try it. It's really good. And they're like, no, I can't do it. I'm like, what? Just try it. I guarantee if you start wearing your socks inside out, you'll never go back. And they're like, no, I can't do it. They just can't like think outside the box. And then like other people who can, they're like, they come back to me and they're like, oh my God, I tried to wear my socks inside out. It's like the best thing of all time. I'm like, yeah, it really is. It's so comfortable.
Really?
Oh yeah. Cause the seams are made inside the socks, which is wrong. Like actually like in other countries, the seams are made outside the socks. So they look uglier on the outside, but they feel better. For some reason in America, the seams are on the inside, which like doesn't make any sense. So if you wear your socks inside out, you don't feel any of the seams, and it's actually way more comfortable. So if you try it, anyone listening now, if you just try it, I guarantee that you'll love it. And if you for some reason you're like, I can't do it, then you are a homoclite. Then so like that's how I could tell.
Wow. Yeah, it's one or the other. No, that's interesting. I never even it never even crossed my mind to try that.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing it?
Since college. I think I knew you when I did it. I just like, it's not like I walk around the halls with my socks on, so I guess like you just never noticed. Yeah. But I've been doing it since I was, I remember first telling people about it when I coached swimming at the local swim club, and I was in college then. That was my college job during the summer, and I was like 20 or 21, so I definitely knew you back then. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I urge anyone listening to this, and you included, to try it, and you'll never go back if you do it.
I've never heard. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone ever doing this. I'll try it. I'll have to remember to try it, but I will try it.
I actually got the idea from, it was some sort of movie. Sean Connery was in it. I don't know what movie it was. I watched in college. I think it was like sophomore or junior, and Sean Connery was like he wore his socks inside out, and the other guy in the movie was like, "Why do you do that?" And he's like, "American socks are made wrong." And like, so I was like, yeah. So I was like, oh, let me try this. And just like I've never worn my socks the quote unquote the right way anymore. They're always inside out.
Wow. Okay, I will try it. So you're saying the comfort is
it's tenfold. The comfort, it's so comfortable.
Wow.
It looks ugly, and then people will ask you about it. They're like, "Why are you wearing your socks inside out, weirdo?" But no, it's the best way. I guarantee it. I guarantee you guys will love it.
Well, I think I can not only enjoy the comfort, but I think I'd be able to dodge the people questioning my doing it, because I don't really run into this too often. I mean, I don't really know anyone who sees my socks ever. I'm usually in shoes.
Yeah, me too. It's not a question I get asked a lot, but like, sometimes it happens.
Sure, if you have like guests over or something.
Yeah. If I've guests over, at the swim club I told you about where we used to work, I used to get changed a lot from swimming, and I put on my socks and they'd be like, "Wait, you're putting your socks inside out? Like, what are you doing?" I'm like, "No, it's the right way. Trust me." So
I had a girlfriend who she would wear like mismatched socks, like like if it was like a like a dressy event, she would wear appropriate whatever. But like she's like, yeah, like whatever. Like she'd have like one pink sock, one blue sock. I don't know. I always thought that was. She's like, what does it really matter? They're just socks. Hardly anybody sees them. And I was like,
I guess.
I don't know.
I
couldn't myself. But if I had to,
yeah,
I'd be like, all right, whatever.
I could never wear my socks. I could never wear like mismatched socks. It'd feel different on each foot. I just can't handle it. I don't know. I feel like I need balance, you know?
I understand.
Yeah, it's never liked it. Cassandra says, I didn't see McManus making local and national non-sports headlines. Yeah, there was apparently he was grinding with some stewardesses on a plane. And the report came out today. I almost retweeted this, but I was too tired and I was like looking at the stock market, so I didn't really get a chance. But like the headline was like marijuana and alcohol use was on the plane. NFL to investigate, and I was like retweeted. I'm like marijuana and alcohol. Oh, the horror! Like it's so stupid. Yeah, it's like apparently prohibited for them to have alcohol on the plane or something, and I'm like. Doesn't like beer, like isn't there like an official beer sponsor of the NFL? It's like pretty hypocritical. I don't know. It's so stupid. Let's see. Slew says Casper was the co-host last week.
Yeah, that's right.
Basically, it was 4 episodes where I was just by myself, which I don't mind doing, but it's definitely easier with a co-host. Cassandra says, "Oh yeah, the Mickey and Donegal popsicles. Forget about those. I love those things. Yeah, those are awesome. They came in yeah."
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, Cassandra, I just saw, I'm like, I don't remember what the name of the group is called on Facebook that I follow, but it's like a nostalgia group. And they had just picked, let's bring it up.
No,
yeah, the first one there. They had a picture of the box. There it is. Oh,
yes.
There's something so nostalgic about that packaging, man. The color scheme, the purple.
Yeah, the purple was the best. So I looked red too. The orange wasn't. It's still good. It was like my least favorite, but yeah, like Donald was always purple. Yeah, I love that. It's so good. Says, there are a lot of people on the internet who are really upset about Disney popsicles having been discontinued. That sucks, man. Maybe you could find them on eBay or something. I don't know. You can find like weird stuff on eBay, but
I swear I saw them like not too long ago at Publix, but I might be wrong. Did I ever tell you about my buddy? Remember Surge?
No.
You don't remember the soda Surge?
Oh, the soda Surge. I thought you said my buddy Surge. I was like, I don't know Surge. No. I
probably have marbles in my mouth.
I know Surge.
Surge was really good. And I went to high school with this guy. He was a year older than I was. He was obsessed with Surge. And he had it by the cases like at his house. And then they just continued it. So this is back in like I always love the Surge logo. You mind bringing up the Surge logo?
Yep.
I always thought like the color scheme, like something about it was so cool. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, like the color scheme was like the third one there. The font, it was a good choice of font.
It was always too sugary for me. I couldn't. I was never a big fan.
No, and I get that. I really liked it, but this kid Eric, he loved it. And then like when they just continued it, he kept like one can of Surge in his refrigerator like forever. You know, I don't know how long it was, but it was long enough to then like we had some buddies over, and this other guy Rich came in. He's like, "Can I get something to drink?" He's like, "Yeah, like grab, you know." But like everyone kind of knew, like, don't touch that can of Surge. It's like a shrine. It's the last one. Mm-hmm. They don't make it anymore. Yeah. And this guy Rich was like, "Oh, dude, Surge, I thought they stopped making this stuff." Opens up the bottle, and Eric was like, "Are you kidding?" Oh, he was so mad. And he just like took it from him and drank the rest.
I know the feeling. When Pepsi came back with Pepsi Throwback, it's so good because it's natural sugar, which is like so much better than the regular thing. And so I just kept the can in my fridge as well. I did the same thing. My wife's friend Andrew comes over. He's like, "Oh, can I get a soda?" I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't think about it." I just opens the Pepsi and starts drinking. I'm like, "No." I was saving it for like a special occasion. But yeah, he ruined that for me. So I think we had the discussion because then I was talking about how on the show Lost, there was this character Desmond who he was stuck in a hatch for 3 years. For these 3 years, he had to press a button every 108 minutes, like no matter what. Even if he was sleeping, he had to enter a code and press execute. It's 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. He had to enter in that code every 108 minutes. And he was told if he didn't, the world would implode. And so he just is a very great philosophical question. Like, do you do this or do you just stop doing it? And he just didn't know, because he's like, what if I end the world if I don't press this button? And so he just had to do it. Like every 108 minutes, even if he was sleeping, it's just like the alarm would go off. The alarm would like start blaring at like 4 minutes. And so he'd just wake up, go to the computer, enter the code, go back to sleep. So that's what he did for 3 years. He was just stuck in this hatch. He loved Charles Dickens. I think it was Charles Dickens. And like, he had one book of Dickens that he didn't read, and he just kept it and on his shelf. And he said, like, this is going to be the last thing I read. And I don't know if I want to spoil this for you, but like, the code isn't entered, and like things start going haywire, and it looks like things are about to end. And he just runs to the book and starts opening it, starts reading it. So that kind of reminds me of that. But yeah, Lost, one of the best. I think my favorite show of all time. So good.
Really, I've never seen it.
That's if whenever you're done watching the first 6 seasons of Game of Thrones, I definitely recommend Lost. It was incredible. And they have this discussion on the show. They're like one guy is like man versus science versus faith, where like the faith guy is like, no, we have to keep pushing the button, and the science guy, the doctor, is like, no, this is stupid. Like there's no way a button is going to stop the world from imploding. Let's not push the button. And so like they have this feud between them, and just like it kind of like splinters the people on the island, because like half the people go with the faith guy, half the people go with the science guy. So it's great show.
When did it originally air?
2004. I think that was the year I lived next to you. So yeah. Right. So yeah, it aired 2004. It was 6 seasons. And you know the premise, I'm sure. Plane crashes on an island, and they try to get off the island, but like weird stuff happens. Like in the first episode, they come across this monster in the jungle. It's basically like this pillar of black smoke that chases them around. They go looking for like the black box or something like that, and they run across a polar bear in the jungle. And so there's a bunch of weird stuff that starts happening on the island. And like the end of the second episode, this is like one of 2 things that really got me to start loving the show. They try to get a signal out, but there's a recording going on the rest of the island, and it's some French woman. She keeps speaking, and it's like replays over and over again. And she says something like, it came for us, it killed us all. And they realize this has been playing in a loop for like 20 years. And then episode 4, there's this guy Locke, who's the faith guy. He's this like crazy hunter guy on the island, and like you kind of think like, what is this guy? Is he like ex-military or something like that? Like he has all these knives that he had with him, and he knows how to hunt boar and everything like that. Like he's like the expert in like finding game on the island. And then you realize like the cool part about Lost is like they go into everyone's backstory. They have these flashbacks. And then you see this guy, he like throughout the episode, and that episode 4, in the flashbacks, he's like preparing for like a trip to like Australia to go like, the outback to hunt, whatever. And then you realize at the end they don't let him go, and they keep saying that like you're not allowed to go in your condition, and you're like, what? Like what's going on? And you realize that he's at the end they show you that he's in a wheelchair, and he realizes that like he's never going to be able to walk ever. And then once he lands on the island, he wakes up and he's able to move his legs and he's able to walk. That's like one of the coolest things. That's why he's the man of faith, is because the island has healed him. So it's such a good show, man. So good.
Have you seen Old? It's a movie by M. Night Shyamalan. Maybe came out like 2 years ago.
Old. That's when they're on the beach and then they age rapidly. Yeah, I saw that in the theater with my wife, and that was a great movie. I loved it.
I really liked it too, because he's had his hits and he's had his misses. Mm-hmm. M. Night, but I actually, so one of my dad's like best friends from childhood, who they still keep in decently close touch. His wife worked on the set of many of those movies. Yeah, of like The Sixth Sense. Like she would like design the set before the actors came on. And I had seen her like for the first time like about a year and a half ago. And I just asked her, I was like, how does it feel to be able to claim that you've worked on like what pretty much everyone agrees is like one of the greatest movies maybe of all time. So that's my question to you. Like, do you think that like The Sixth Sense is considered a classic? I think it is. I think it's one of like I've never met anyone who, maybe some people are like meh, but like I've never met anyone who disliked the movie. And I know they're out there. I'm not suggesting that everyone loves it. That's a really good one though.
I saw it in the movie theater twice. I loved it. And it's not like I went out of my way to see it twice. I saw it once with my friends, and then my parents wanted to see it, and I loved it so much. And like based on based on what happens at the end of the movie with the crazy twist, I wanted to watch the movie knowing the twist if I could pick up on stuff that I should have noticed. So it was fun watching it the second time. It is an absolute classic. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen. It was incredible, and like that twist is iconic. Like. And you see so many memes from that too. It's mentioned in like random songs too. It is definitely one of the best. You said there are some misses with M. Night Shyamalan. I'm curious if you have any on the top of your head. I have one in particular, but what would you say are like M. Night's like worst movies?
I have a couple because I know one of the ones that I think is the worst is one that you like. So we'll save that for last because I know which one that is.
Okay.
Lady in the Water. Did you ever see that one? That was so obnoxious.
Lady in the Water. That's familiar. I think I saw previews of it, and I don't think that's like one of the few ones from M. Night I haven't seen. It was that bad?
It was. I've watched several like different reviews on it, and like looked at many perspectives. It's bad no matter how you twist it. But okay. The one that I was thinking of that I know because I remember you told me a while ago you liked it. The Happening.
Is that the tree one? So I didn't think it was okay. I don't think it was that a good of a movie. Like I don't think it was really good. It was kind of stupid, like the whole premise. I thought it was entertaining. So like I saw it in the theater, and my motivation for it was it's funny that you said someone who worked on the M. Night sets. I did too. It was my friend Nick from my summer swimming days at that swim club I told you about. He became someone in the film industry, and he worked with M. Night a lot. And so I wanted to see his name in the credits. And so we watched the movie, and then I stayed around for the credits to see his name, and it was there. It was pretty sweet.
That's cool.
That. Yeah. So like I said, I thought I had fun watching it, but I don't think it was a particularly good movie though. Like, and that was the movie I was talking about. Like it was dumb. Like they could have made some things. They could have changed some stuff to make it better. It was definitely one of the worst of his for sure. But I enjoyed watching it.
Right, I gotcha. I mean, and maybe I didn't realize that maybe it's meant to be that way, sort of thing. But like, it's like I think it's just like because I like Mark Wahlberg. Like I just think it was a bad script too. So like maybe it was like intentionally done that way. I don't know. That one was bad. Shoot, I'm trying to think. I'll tell you one I really liked was Unbreakable. I liked Unbreakable. Some people are split on that one, but
I kind of liked it. And then it's crazy that he came out with a sequel to it. Like 18 years later, 20 years later. It was what'd you say?
Split. Well, it wasn't. Split. Yeah, it was Split, and then they did Glass was the third one. I didn't see Glass. I saw Split. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't see Glass either. I saw Split, and I don't know how many people realized it was the sequel to it until the end. I guess that was the twist too, because like you saw Bruce Willis at the end, and like, oh my god, this is a sequel the whole time. Yeah. But no, we saw it in the movie theater because like my wife and I both loved M. Night. She loves him more than I do. I really enjoyed that. I do want to watch Glass, but that came out straight to Netflix, I think. So.
Did it? Yeah, I should watch it because I really liked Unbreakable.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's in the theater. I know it just it was on Netflix. But I mean, with two kids these days, we're not going to the movies. I haven't gone to the movies in so long. I think the last time I went to the movies was it may have been to see Old actually.
Oh, really?
I think so.
I was going last summer.
Actually, I think I saw Super Mario Brothers the movie in the theater because I I took my 2 nephews to see it. But no, we used to go to the movies all the time, but things change when you have 2 kids. It's 2 young kids.
Yeah,
you can't drag. And although my son is getting close to having to go to going to the movies. He can't quite sit still yet. Like he can for like 20 minutes maybe, but he's not there yet. Like he's gonna be 2.5 in July. So maybe in like a year he might be able to, but my daughter's 9 months, so she's obviously like not even close to that stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Cassandra said you like Signs. Signs was okay when I saw it, but it was like it doesn't age well. Like I tried to watch it again, and it was kind of like
yeah, you're right. Yeah, it doesn't like I saw it in the theater. It was great. And then I tried watching it again, and I'm like, oh, this is not as good as I remember it. Maybe because like once you know what's happening, it's not as suspenseful, I suppose. Maybe it's like one of that.
Yeah,
so, like,
yeah.
I think it'd be interesting to see like someone who watches it for the first time, what they think of it. Like maybe they'd like it too. I don't know. It's a good point because I was thinking the exact same thing. Sandra says The Village was pretty awful. I kind of like The Village. I thought the twist was pretty cool.
A lot of people are split on this. I've actually only ever seen the whole thing through once because I think that the idea, like the twist at the end, is good. But I remember thinking it took too long for me. For me, it took too long to get there. It was an interesting idea, but I really didn't like it at first. But a lot of people share your sentiment too. So I kind of look at it differently. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that would argue it was ahead of its time in some way, but I liked it. And, let me also say, I'm sitting here saying like, oh, it doesn't age well. Well, you know what? Like most things don't age well.
That's true.
Like, that's the so it's like, it's fine for what it was, but I always love it. Like, it's kind of like canon at this point. People like love to comment like on videos or posts or whatever, like this didn't age well. It's like,
yeah.
How many things do, bro?
So Seinfeld didn't age well. And it was considered one of the best shows of all time. I guess it still is. But if you watch some of the Seinfeld episodes, like it really doesn't. So it's pretty tough to find something that does age well. We have someone who loves this site. Well, first of all, we have Mike saying, "Walt, you found Tom."
Yeah, what's up, Mike?
Yeah, Mike. Great to see you on. Mike, by the way, I sent you autographed copy of my book, so you should get it soon. I sent it yesterday, so you should get it within the next few days. But we have the press season. He says, Walt, I thought Walter Football is an old white dude, LMFAO, especially with the old boomer, dumb ASS political takes. It's funny that, like, I don't know. I think I am old. Like, I don't know. I feel old, but I'm not white. So, like, this guy is like half right, sort of. It's like I am old, but not white. He's stunned. I'm not 80 plus. Well, I mean, I am 41, which again feels old. And so some of your stuff you comment seems like someone with dementia brain. Well, if you want to support someone with dementia brain, I will point you to Mr. Peto Pete over here. You can buy his t-shirt. It's perfect for bootlickers like yourself. You have kids. This is concerning. Please don't think about you teaching them this moronic MAGA QAnon crap. I'm not even Republican. Like, what is this guy is like? Call me white. I'm not white. He's calling me MAGA. I'm not Republican. This guy's like a little off base here, but it's for party. Thanks for supporting the show at the press season. He said the Three Stooges aged well.
Well, sort of. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I never watched the Three Stooges. Obviously, I've seen like clips. I've never watched like a whole show of it.
Yeah.
I mean, those like. When was that? Like the 60s, 50s? Like it was way before my time, obviously.
It might have even been. I think it was before that.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just guessing. The press season probably thought I was old enough to watch it. So, it says
you're on the Titanic, bro.
Yeah, no, seriously. He says active from 22 to 70. Okay, yeah, that's wow. So they were in the 50s, 60s, sure, but as far back as 22. That's year my grandpa was born, 22.
My grandfather was a big. I don't know where this is, but he was like a big like old school movie buff. He turned like his whole basement into like he had a old school projector in the back, and he could like But he had this autographed poster it was autographed by the Three Stooges. It was an autographed Three Stooges poster. I don't know where that poster is though. It's probably worth something, but
yeah, probably. You never know. Like the crazy stuff can be worth money. Remember Monster in My Pocket?
Yeah.
Did you ever? Yeah. So I used to love Monster in My Pocket. I used to have that I used to have so many of those toys. I talked about the story, not really a story, but like I was talking about Toys R Us on the over the weekend. Because there's a clip on YouTube, or no, it was a clip on Twitter about like the history of like stores that popped up for Toys R Us, and I talked about like that sucks that I can't take my kids to Toys R Us because I had so much fun there. Like when it was either my birthday or Christmas, my parents would take us, and my dad would he'd say you can get anything in the store up to $100, and so there I'd get like 3 or 4 things I wanted, and it would come out to like 90, and then I start getting all this crap for like $10, like $9.99 that I didn't want, but I just made sure that I squeezed out every penny. So it's yeah, it was that was a super fun time, but I don't even know where I was going with that.
Hey, do you remember the drink Fresca? Bring up a picture of Fresca.
Yeah, Fresca. Yeah, I definitely actually. When I talked about Surge, I think I was thinking of Fresca actually.
Oh,
Fresca.
Yeah, the Fresca can was.
Yeah.
No, like see if you can find like the old school logo. Sorry, I don't mean to put you to work over here.
Oh man, my finger's falling off here.
Oh, there, yeah, the fifth one there on the top.
Oh,
there you go. Oh, that's the old Fresca logo. I remember they come in the cans. I didn't even know they still made it, but I guess they've reinvented their logo.
Yeah, I actually think I was thinking of Fresca when you talked about Surge before.
Oh, okay.
First time I've only had Fresca once. It was like the first time I was dating my now wife, but like this is the first time. Actually, it was like our 4th date or something like that. I actually drove to her house and then we went to a restaurant. And so, like, as I was waiting for her to get ready, like, she's like, "Oh, open. I have some sodas in the fridge if you want." And I opened it and it was like, "Oh, it's all Fresca." I'm like, "What is this?" She's like, "Oh, you never had Fresca?" I'm like, "No." And so I had it. I was like, I thought it was disgusting. I was like so sugary.
Wow, your wife offered you a Fresca on the 4th date. She must have really liked you.
Yeah, well, apparently she did.
That's pretty soon to offer someone a Fresca.
I know. Usually it's like 7th or 8th date, but yeah.
Yeah, you remember RC Cola? You ever drink RC Cola?
Yeah.
I think I saw it recently, like at the dollar store or something.
Yeah, I never liked the
off-brand my Donald Duck orange juice.
It's right next to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking. Yeah, I was just in the neighborhood for some Donald Duck. Figured I'd get some RC Cola while I'm at it.
Yeah.
What were some of the? I'm trying to think. Tab. I'm trying to think. What did Tab taste like? I don't know if I ever had a Tab.
I don't think I had Tab either. Mr. Pibb was awesome. I guess it's still
wasn't Tab like Pibb, right? I love Pibb. Pibb Extra is good.
Yeah. Pibb Extra is really good. Yeah, Mr. Pibb's awesome. We used to go to this restaurant. It's like the best Mexican food I ever had. It was called oh man, I forget what it's called. It hasn't been around for a while, but it used to be here, and they closed it down, unfortunately. But they used to have these double cheesy tacos, and they're so good. And then they used to have a soda machine that had Mr. Pibb in it. So I used to get like 3 double cheesy tacos and Mr. Pibb. It was like the best thing. My wife and I used to go there all the time, and they shut down in like 2016 or something. So it's been a while. And then they opened up a new Mexican restaurant in that same building. And we're like, oh, I might as well go there. And it was like one of those hipster spots where like you could, you pick stuff and you get the guy behind the counter making the tacos in front of you. It's like, it's so bad. It's so bland. The food is horrible. We only had it once. We never went back. I think that the press season's probably a guy who would like that sort of food. So in the chat, Cassandra says Walt also complains about AMC stock, but doesn't go to the theater as long as it's well, in fairness, I used to go to the theater all the time. But no, I go to we go to this theater called Penn Cinema now. I don't go to AMC anymore. Ever since selling my AMC stock, because it's not the stock that's bad. Well, I guess sort of is, but like it's the CEO Adam Aaron, who's like he's either a criminal or a moron. I can't I don't know which one. but he screwed over investors so much with his like insane dilution, like diluting at the bottom constantly. Like the way GameStop diluted, it was like a one-shot thing, and they did a shelf dilution, and it wasn't at the bottom. Like they waited till the stock price doubled, and then they just sold the 45 million shares right away to someone. I think it was someone who had to cover their short sale. And I don't know if you follow GameStop, but they raised $1 billion, and they have $2 billion. They have no debt, and they're profitable. So it's like the only stock I own now. So. Selling covered calls is amazing. I wish I would have done this earlier. I don't know if you ever got into that, like selling covered calls for stocks. It's free money. It's insane. And I like did the math when I made my profits off GameStop back in 2021. If I just kept my stocks and just sold covered calls the entire time, I would have made like triple what I sold it for, and I kept all my shares. So. It's it's crazy that you just get free money for holding your stock. There's no downside to it either. Like, I mean, the only downside is that the stock goes down, but if you own stock, like that's downside anyway. And like, it just gives you like this cushion where if it goes down and you've sold a bunch of covered calls, like, you basically can offset your losses. It's pretty incredible. And if the stock goes up, then you're going to make so much money from it. So,
I never got into that aspect of it.
It's something I highly recommend. Anyone owning stock, sell covered calls. Just do it. It's there's no reason not to do it. I don't think people know enough about it. I can even go over it if there's any demand for it, but it's super easy to do.
I got one for you. URG, Your Energy. I've been watching. I hold I think I have about 500 shares now, but it's just check it out.
URG.
It's an energy stock. I think it could be on the rise. Like,
why is that?
Are you?
Oh yeah, I'm typing it in.
Oh okay, yeah. Or URG is the stock symbol. Your Energy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's an energy stock, and I think it could be on the rise. And I don't. They just recently did something. They blocked some sort of import from Russia, and like this company is like one of 3 companies that's doing what they're doing in the United States. So like I think they're going to be on the move here pretty soon.
Yeah, they don't have options change, so you can't sell covered calls with it. But
well, I'm just saying, I'm like holding on for long term. I think it could be,
Is there any risk for dilution though? Like it's a penny stock, So it's always my concern about these penny stocks is like, yeah, they if they don't have money, they're going to dilute. It's like the second goes up, and then it comes crashing down.
You would consider that's a penny stock? It's $1.80.
Yeah, but it's like, what's the market cap of it? It doesn't matter what the price is; it's what the market cap is. Let's see here.
Yeah, well, I think I saw like they're blocked. I read something that they're like blocking all imports of like uranium from Russia or something like that. And and this company is like one of 3 in the United States. I think they're in Wyoming, but or somewhere out in that area. But I don't know, man. Like if that could, like in the future, I feel like it's something that's I've been watching it for like 3 years now.
Okay, yeah, market cap is 507 million. Generally, penny stocks are 300 million or less. So yeah, maybe it's not a penny stock, but I do wonder, like with these like less than $1 billion companies, like if they would ever dilute. It's my fear with these, like having traded like these less than $1 billion stocks for a long time. It's usually like dilution that hurts you. But I mean, if they had the money, maybe they won't dilute. But you never know. Like these scumbag CEOs, like they'll just crush your hopes and dreams. And that's why I love GameStop, because of Ryan Cohen. Like he doesn't even take a salary. Like he just like has this great vision for GameStop, and I trust him. I know that he kind of broke some people's trust with Bed Bath & Beyond because he was a major investor there and he sold all his shares. But like he was trying to get Bed Bath & Beyond to innovate and they wouldn't do it. Like the rest of the board just rejected all of his plans, so he just sold. So I don't know why he really got flack for that. No, I definitely trust Ryan Cohen. I think he's super sharp and he's smart. And like I said, he doesn't even take a salary. But he doesn't need to. He's a billionaire. So, that's why I'm holding on to GameStop. Plus the cover calls, just like they pay for the stock itself. So
you should pay him like minimum wage or something.
What'd you say?
He should pay himself like minimum wage. Like just like it'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, the problem with paying yourself is that I know this from running a company myself. There's something called payroll tax, which is so absurd. If I let go of one of my employees, so right now I pay $1,000 to the federal government every single week in payroll tax, just payroll tax. It does not include the revenue we make. That there's just payroll tax, and it's just a tax for having people on the payroll. So it's about $1,000. It's like $990 or something. So it's $1,000. If I let go of one of my employees, I will be paying only $700 per week to the federal government. If I hire someone, I'll be probably paying $1,300 per week to the federal government. It makes no sense. It incentivizes me to let go of employees and not to hire people. And what I'm getting at is if I boost my salary, if I like pay myself at all a salary, then my payroll taxes go way up. And so that's what I'm saying. Like Ryan Cohen, like him not taking a salary actually helps the company because he doesn't have to pay himself. Like he doesn't have to pay these insane payroll taxes. It's something that people don't know about with like running a business. It's like absolute like thievery. Like I mean, taxes themselves is I call them legalized theft. But like these payroll taxes are ridiculous because they like incentivize no growth. They actually incentivize you to like basically decay your company to let people go, and it just sucks.
Wow. Well, geez, I would still pay myself minimum wage though, just as kind of as a joke.
Yeah, I get it, but like, I know, but that actually like hurts the company if he does that. So,
right. Well, maybe we shouldn't go for the nuclear energy. What do you think about the wind power? Go with wind energy, man. You ever see those windmills, man? I drove through Texas. I saw those giant. They can really generate some force. I say we go wind power. What do you think?
Yeah, bye birds. All the birds dying in the wind things. It's like,
what about solar power? You gonna get those solar panels on your roof?
Actually,
there's all sorts of people trying to sell them down here in Florida all the time.
Yeah, I know some people have gotten them. I actually can't. I'm in a townhouse community. Like they actually don't allow you to innovate like that. I don't think I would anyway.
Tell them you're a proponent of solar power. They have to.
When I got my deck, it had to be the exact same specs as everyone else. It's like at least give us like 3 or 4 options. Like every deck in this neighborhood looks exactly the same. Like obviously the furniture is different, but like the only thing that you can choose is to have steps or not to have steps. Leading to the grass. That's your only choice. It's so stupid.
Oh wow!
I hate that. Like I like living here, but at the same time, it is frustrating sometimes. My wife wants to move. I don't know when that's going to happen given the housing market, but we'll see.
Well,
what'd you say?
Well, just tell them you drive a solar powered car, and then maybe they'll.
Yeah,
are you a proponent of the solar car or no?
The solar car.
Man.
I was like the joke that Trump would say. He'd be like, honey, it's cloudy. I can't watch LSU Alabama. I always love that when he says that. Anyway, Cassandra says I have Fresca here in my house. Yeah, the design isn't as cool now.
Oh, nice.
And Mike says the Three Stooges were 30s and 40s. Okay, so I was off.
Yeah. I knew it was a while. Yeah, it started a while back. But you were partially correct.
Yeah, sort of. I was just guessing though. Mike says Fresca is discontinued because it contains some carcinogenic ingredient. If it was reintroduced, it would surprise me. It feels like everything has some carcinogens in it. It's kind of crazy that like there's a lot of younger people getting cancer these days. It's kind of nuts. A&W root beer on tap is in a frosted mug. I was never a fan of root beer, to be honest.
Root beer's okay. Like some people are really like the root beer floats. People like. I mean, it's all right, but like I was never like crazy about it. But I do like the frosted mug action is good sometimes. But I wouldn't drink it regularly, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It just I don't know. I just never got the appeal to it. I know people like it a lot. I just don't. Mike says I drank lots of Fresca and RC in the '60s. Both were great. I definitely drank RC before, and I had Fresca that one time. But yeah, it's like I guess it's like a lot of member berry stuff with those two things. It's sort of the appeal to it.
When's the last time you had Sunny D, man?
I don't know if I ever had Sunny D. I know like people would have it in you look at me like crazy. People would have it in school, but my mom never bought it, so I just never had it. I always had like Ecto Cooler or like High C fruit punch or something, or like Mott's apple juice or whatever. I never had. I don't think I ever had Sunny Delight, but it's something my mom just never bought. So yeah, I can't
ever think of Ecto Cooler without thinking of Slimer.
It's
impossible. I don't think I think that applies to everybody.
Yeah. I don't know if do they still have Ecto Cooler? I would love to drink some Ecto Cooler. Actually,
I think they do. Here's what's weird about Ecto Cooler. Like, what was how did High C get Slimer on there? Because there weren't other Ghostbuster drinks, right? It was just Ecto Cooler, and like wasn't just like Slimer there randomly? But it worked. Why did that work?
I guess it's the same color as Slimer, right? I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know.
Because I don't remember seeing any other like High C like juice boxes with anything else like Ghostbusters. But I think as a kid I was just like, oh, like maybe it's related to but Slimer was just there. And it's like that's like like the Ecto Cooler juice box with Slimer, that's like instant nostalgia.
Yeah.
That
it's so good. It was I mean, as a kid, I wonder if that holds up like as an adult. Like, is it still good or is it like sugary, like nonsense that you're like, I can't drink this anymore. Like, but you can as a kid, you know, you have a higher threshold as a kid to eat nonsense.
Ecto Cooler is for ages, 5 to 99. It's for everybody. It's for everybody.
Yeah. Sue says, I think the AMC CEO watches WNBA games at the Sports Bra. Did you hear about the Sports Bra? It was brought up yesterday on the show with Kenny. Did you hear about it?
I don't think so.
It's a bar out of Portland, apparently, where they play nothing but women's sports on the TV.
Nice.
Kenny and I, we have this thing where we open up Rainmakers packs like during each episode, and we joke that like we're the experts at turning a lot of money into a little bit of money. And I think they were motivated by our pack openings because they're going to turn a lot of money into a little bit of money because I don't think anything's
well, I'll tell you what. Go ahead.
I was about to say you're going to get some beta males like the press season, but like he's going to be their main customer. But outside of that, I don't know who's going to go there. Yeah. Maybe Adam Aaron too. That's true.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I've been watching some WNBA games. You got to check it out, man. It's fun to watch.
No, it's not.
I'll tell you what.
I've seen it before.
You got to watch. You got to give it a chance, man.
I have. I used to bet on WNBA, and when I was in college, it was horrible.
You need to give it another one.
No.
It's different now. It's different. No, but let me tell you what. The officiating, like the league has such an awesome opportunity here to really take off. I mean, the ceiling is never going to be higher for the league than it is right now with Caitlin Clark. She is really good. She's been slightly. I mean, she's a rookie. She's slightly underwhelming, and I take no pleasure in saying that because I like her and I hope she does well. But it's like I'm watching some of these games. And it's like, oh, like there's a foul, there's a review. I'm talking like it's taking a literal like 4 or 5 minutes for these refs to like. Get somebody who knows what the hell they're doing, and even the commentators are like, what is the holdup? But it happens on like not every like play stoppage, but. Get some better officiating. You have like if I was the commissioner of that league, it's like get better officials. You're never going to have a better chance for your business, your league to take off. And that's the product. I was appalled at the officiating. What it was the Fever and it was last Wednesday night. Shoot, I can't remember. Seattle maybe. It was so hard to, there was just so many breaks in the action, and the refs were just slowing down the game. It was really bad. So, but otherwise, the games have been fun to watch. I'm really having a good time.
I mean, you're really selling me on the WNBA here with these longer reviews. Like, I was on the border watching it, now I'm not. So
no, come on, but that adds to the fun. Then I can come up here and rant and rave about. No, it is interesting to watch. It is fun to watch, and there are some it's you should try it. You should give it another try.
No, I'll pass. Thanks. I think there's so many other things I'd rather watch on TV. To be honest, I'm so behind on like TV shows. Like I have no interest in watching that crap. It's just like they couldn't beat high school boys basketball. Like, why not just watch that? Like, I just don't get like watching like it's like watching the XFL or the UFL back, like, which I guess I think it's UFL now. Like, it's just an inferior product. Like I don't get it. Like, I can barely handle like college football. Like, yeah, just watching the guys who are going to be great in the NFL, but there's so many bad players. It's like frustrating sometimes. Like, I don't know if it was you who mentioned it. I think it was you. Like, there's just a lot of kickers in college who can't make like 30-yard field goals, and like that's like something that really like bothers me. Whereas like just used to the NFL, like 30-yard field goals are automatic. But I mean, when you get to some of these teams in college, like, kicker can't hit anything outside of 25 yards. It's like, man, like, why am I watching this? Like, obviously it's my job to watch some of these prospects, but like, if I was just having fun, like this, it was something fun for me, But NFL, I love watching the NFL or like NBA, just like the top level stuff. I just can't watch inferior talent. Just really bothers me. I see highlights of like these women missing layups. I just can't get it. I just can't get into it.
Right. And look, I mean, at the end of the day, you're right. The product is inferior, but I still have a good time watching it.
I guess everyone likes their own thing. I don't know. Like I said, I've tried it before.
I'm not saying it's like, whoa, it's like the coolest, It's I still have a good time watching it.
There's one summer where I did WNBA picks on the site and actually like did pretty well. But I just didn't enjoy it.
I've been doing well. How about that Mystics play last week? Remember, I was really selling you hard. I'll tell you what. I hindsight's 50-50, right? As Cam Newton says.
Yep.
But remember 2 years ago when I came over to your house, it was July, and I was like, oh, week 2, like Eagles over the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
If this happens in week 1 and both those things happened, Walt, like I get goosebumps just thinking of that story because I was never like more sure of a pick. That's how I felt about that Mystics pick last week.
Is that the comeback that they had in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, they did have to come back, but I was nervous because like I was so sure that was going to come through, and fortunately it did.
I told people on the show to bet it live when it was plus 14 in the fourth quarter. I'm like, oh, Tom, like this is a plus 6. I think you guys should. Bet this.
Yeah. So, well, all of a sudden, Phoenix. That's awesome. I hope people took it then. That was a lock. They only lost by 3.
Yeah,
but like. They were holding their own, and then all of a sudden Phoenix went on a 15-0 run. I was like, you got to be kidding me. They came storming back. Dude, I was flipping out. That was the biggest that was the most confidence I had to play in a long time. And I know that sounds strange to say, but like it really felt right. It felt like reminiscent, and I wish I would have told you that now. But I guess because I'm so new to watching, like I'm not like comfortable on that level.
Yeah.
With basketball, but it did come through.
Well, if you have any WNBA plays, just let us know.
Now you want to watch.
I'm not going to watch. I'm never going to watch. You can.
No. If you want the info, man, you're watching the game with me. We're having a watch party.
Watch party. Oh my god.
Otherwise, I'm cutting you out of the loop.
Then I'll be cut out. I'm not going to waste my time with that.
I would never. Out of the loop. You are the loop. Well, you and Jacob, I guess. No, that's not true. I have other people I discuss sports with, but anyhow, what do we got here? We got some comments.
Tony says, get Tommy Tuberville on to give us some inside info. Get Pelosi husband on to give us some stock info. If the show ever gets big enough to get corrupt politicians as co-hosts, I guess they're doing something good at that point. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to trade stocks if you have the inside info on what bills are going to get passed. I don't know how this stuff is legal, but it's pretty crazy. And Tony continuing to say, I hate capital gains tax. I agree, although it is not as egregious. I think in order, I would say, I think real estate tax is the worst. Because you own a house, even if you paid off your mortgage, if you don't pay your real estate tax, they'll take your house. And that's absurd. It just makes no sense. And I think it should be like a one-time thing. You buy your house the first year, you pay real estate tax, and that's it. Like paying it every year, that is legalized definition of it. I think the second worst is income tax. Very close to first. I just think like getting taxed on your hard work, like if it was like 10%, fine. I don't think 10%. I think 10% would be too high, but like I could at least understand 10%. But like you get taxed on like 40% of your income. Like you work almost half the year just to pay the government, and for what? For them to send money overseas, like it's absurd. And I would like to bring up my money laundering T-shirt
now. Now, Walter, do you keep in mind that some of that money goes towards what we earn from the YouTube ads? So.
Yeah,
you know,
so,
we do see some of it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, YouTube that takes money as well. And then payroll taxes is number 3, but then I think capital gains is number 4. So prefer trading futures due to taxes. Yes. Options trading I think is the way to go for sure. You can make insane amounts of money. You can also lose money too, but you can make insane amounts of money in like 30 seconds or 30 minutes or even less. I think today, NVIDIA, I was this really pissed me off. And it's nothing I could have done. NVIDIA, there was like a negative. All I do is like watch the news now on Twitter. Just like I have like these alerts that pop up. There was like a really negative report about NVIDIA. And so I bought put options on NVIDIA. And those put options I bought like 6 of them for like $60. And then in like a span of 10 minutes, they doubled in price. And so I was like, oh, this is awesome. I was like, this is awesome. I just made $360. But what happened was I was driving my son home from daycare. And I was like at a red light and turned green. I'm like, crap, I'm gonna have to sell at the next red light. And so I got to the next red light. This is like a minute later. Like it's like there's options that were worth $1.20 or $120. Suddenly they're worth $80. I'm like, oh, look, what the hell? Like this went down. Like it went down so fast. Just because like I was driving my son home, and then I was so frustrated. I'm like, oh, maybe it'll go back up. And then the next red light, it was $52. So I actually lost $8 per shares. Per contract. God. I lost $48 when I could have made $360 if I had time to sell.
Oh my God, that sucks.
I was so angry, dude. I couldn't handle it. I was like, this is ridiculous. But like, what am I gonna do?
Oh my
God. Tony says going to buy NVIDIA before the split. I'd be careful, man. There was a really negative story about NVIDIA today. Now maybe it's just to lower the price so people can buy more, but I think Nancy Pelosi, I believe, sold her NVIDIA. So I would be careful. It said the government was going to stop buying as many NVIDIA chips or something. I forget. Like definitely check out the news before you buy it. And I think that like I heard people say that this split is just basically to get suckers to buy, so the people who want to sell get liquidity to sell. So I would be careful with that. Sue says Walt too far north for effective solar power. Yeah, I guess that's why they don't sell it here.
Get you one of those windmills, man. I say we go wind power. What do you have against wind power?
Well, I mean, I don't want the birds to die. It's just it's upsetting. Not that I'm like a huge bird fan, but it's like I don't know. I think nuclear is the way to go, to be honest.
Well, then you should buy URG.
URG or Oklo is the other one. They definitely could look into it, but I don't really want to hold stocks. I except for GameStop, just because the selling cover calls. Sue says if Walt moves to Florida, he's stuck with Hard Rock Book. Yeah, that would be the downside. Yeah. My wife doesn't want to move to Florida because she says it's too humid. So I don't think we're going to move to Florida. I would love to be there, but like there's a downside to every state. I guess in Florida you have hurricanes and Hard Rock Book. Those are the two bad things. There's bad things in every state. Like Pennsylvania sucks because it's so corrupt here. But if you like the Four Seasons, Pennsylvania is like one of the best places.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, like I said, there's bad things about every place. Sue says Sunny D is disgusting. I wouldn't know. I'll take your word for it though. So
yeah, we need to get you some Sunny D, man.
Tony says, is Nico Collins overpaid? I mean, based on what he did last year, I'd say no. But he was a one-shot wonder or a one-hit wonder. Like, and I wonder if he could do that again. But the fact that he's playing with CJ Stroud makes me think he can. And you kind of have to ask yourself, like, did CJ Stroud make Nico Collins? And I think he did. But at the same time, CJ Stroud's on a rookie contract, and they can afford deals like this. And I like Jacob pointing this out, so I want to give him credit. He said Nico Collins' new contract expires when CJ Stroud's rookie contract does. So they don't have to keep Nico Collins around after, like, when CJ Stroud's paid his big money. So it actually like works pretty well time wise. Like the Texans actually did pretty well with this deal, I think. Sanchez, they definitely still make Fresca. Maybe they changed whatever the carcinogen was. Saccharine, probably. Okay, I don't know. I saw that. I started dating my wife in 2013, so that's like the only time I had Fresca. So, because I said the WNBA was hard to watch. I refuse to believe that.
It's fun. I have a good time watching.
Saccharine. Saccharine sounds familiar. I think that was it. Okay. He says, yeah, Mike, those artificial sweeteners cause cancer in mice if you force fed them like 10,000 pounds per gram of body weight. So people got scared. Yeah, I just don't understand like those natural sugar things. Just regular sugar, I think, is just good. Like, I was saying before, like Pepsi Throwback was better than regular Pepsi. By the way, I was gonna say this. If you guys can see this, there's a McDonald's logo on this. I went to McDonald's from Jacob's recommendation because Jacob said that the McDonald's Dr. Pepper is the best Dr. Pepper he's ever had. So
really,
yeah, he said that, and I trust Jacob, he's a smart guy. So I went to McDonald's tonight to get Dr. Pepper, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Definitely pretty good. So yeah,
I'll have to try that out. Yeah, sometimes I think the fountain sodas hit different, than like out of a can or anything else, or certainly out of a cup.
Yeah, I think like out of like a glass bottle is like the best thing. Like the plastic bottles, you get those like microplastics and stuff. That I don't know, like all this weird stuff happens. Germ with the 538.
Hey, thanks, Germ.
Thank you so much, Germ. This is 2 cheeseburgers, by the way, 269 times 2, 538, 2 cheeseburger night by LQDA. Catalyst coming up, and more importantly, I'm red currently, but been selling covered calls for a couple months. So yeah, let's take a look at LQDA. What is that? I actually wanted. That's like the first thing I do is see if you can sell covered calls. Which is they do have an options chain. It's only a month, so it's only a month out, but it's $12.35 right now. You could sell cover calls for $17.50 at $25, which is pretty good. So yeah, that's like such an easy way to make money. Like it's not enough people do that, but LQDA. Let's see, what is that? Liquidia Corporation. Market cap's about $1 billion. I don't know if enough about this, but I mean, let us know why you like LQDA, like what they do. I am definitely interested in anything where you can sell cover calls, because like I said, that's like the best thing to do. Profit margin, return assets. It's like negative revenue, 15 million. What is total debt? 101%. It's I don't know. I worry about these companies that don't have much money because they might dilute. I don't know if this company is diluted a lot, but that's something to watch out for. Which is like why I'm like really bullish on GameStop, because like they're not going to dilute. They have $2 billion in cash. They don't need to do it. They just did it once to make $1 billion. And I just wonder what Ryan Cohen's going to do with it. He's just he's a super sharp guy. So I'd be interested to see if he like buys Stream or something. I think it'd be pretty cool. Tony, go ahead. Were you gonna say something?
Oh no, go ahead. You're good.
He says Clay Travis doesn't watch NBA or WNBA. I love NBA. Just I bet on it, so that makes it extra fun. But I love the NBA playoffs. NBA regular season can be a drag just because there's so many games. But yeah, NBA, WNBA just can't get behind. So it says plus then Rumsfeld's company invented aspartame, so lobbied the government to smear them. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff out there. Tony says agree on property tax sucks. I don't have kids and mortgage paid off and still have to pay $7,000 yearly. Yeah, mine is almost that amount. It's legalized stuff. This is what it is. It's horrible. So it says I like women's collegiate fast pitch softball. There is no men's version, so I'm watching the game played at a high level. Don't ask me to watch women's basketball or golf. And then Mike says women's golf is okay, especially Paige Spiranac and friends. I am not familiar with Paige Spiranac. Let's take a look at Paige Spiranac. Okay, yeah, I can see the appeal to women's golf.
You like good looking women, do you?
Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah, I have no issues with them at all.
Yeah. Oh, Mike's talking Mellow Yellow now.
No, Mellow Yellow I've heard of. I've heard of that. Never had it though.
Are you serious? They have it here at CC's Pizza. The local CC's Pizza has it.
Yeah, I've seen it around. It's like Mountain Dew, isn't it?
Yeah.
I
think it's a little bit better.
I was never a Mountain Dew fan. I did like the Mountain Dew Red version, the green version.
Code Red.
The Code Red, yeah. I never liked the regular Mountain Dew.
I used to be okay with it, but then I won't drink it anymore. I don't know. It's just not. I used to like it, but I would pick Mellow Yellow any day. But you don't see it often. Squirt. Yeah. Mike knows about Squirt.
Squirt. Yeah. I don't know what Squirt is. Mike said Squirt is cool.
Slew said it first.
Yeah. Sue said it. Yeah. I've never heard of Squirt. So we have a couple more comments. So Tony says I need to look into options and trade them before. First, I need to learn strategies before committing any capital. Yeah, options are pretty easy. Like it's I think it could be intimidating because there's like a lot to look at. But I think once you learn, like all you need to do is just like search on YouTube like beginner's guide to options, and like you can just get them. You can just get it right away. And I would trade like the one thing I would recommend with options is not to hold them overnight unless you're doing like long-term leaps, because a trap that a lot of people fall into is that like they'll buy an option. They'll buy like a put, for example, on a stock that's like $14, and they'll expect it to drop, and it'll drop the next day to like $12, and their put value will actually go down. And they're like, what the hell? Like, if the stock went down, like, why did my put value go down? It's because, like, first of all, it may have been too expensive to begin with, and second, you're working against time. Like, it's basically that's the big thing. It's like the longer you hold an option, the less valuable it becomes, and so people just don't think about it that way. So I never hold short-term options overnight. I think it's a huge mistake. Now I have some like long-term stuff. I have a long-term put. On Carvana. It's like expires in January 2026. It's like a $15 put, and the stock is like $108 or something like that right now. Wow. I think it's going to go way down, but I have a lot of time, and like the put value has not changed, even though I've held it for like a month, just because like there's so much time. I had GameStop calls that expired in 2026 as well. I sold them when the stock skyrocketed. I might get some more, but yeah. So you either do that, like day trade call options and don't hold them overnight, or invest in like long-term, like January 2025 or later calls or puts. That is my recommendation. So yeah, but definitely like learn the basics and at first like try like sell like trade a little bit just to get your feet wet, like because if you don't know what you're doing, like you could lose a lot of money. But if you do know what you're doing, like you can make a ton of money too. Like it's crazy. And something I love to do is just follow the news. There are certain Twitter handles I follow. I have notifications for. As soon as they tweet something out about news, I'll buy calls or puts on the stock. Like for example, like a few weeks ago, there was a story about the marijuana stocks getting declassified as like. They went from like first to like third degree, and like the DEA was like saying they're like gonna make like marijuana like less less serious, and the the cannabis stocks just all skyrocketed. There's a stock called CGC, which went from $9 to $13. The call, if you bought a call option, like as soon as you saw that news, it tripled in value within a span of like 2 hours. So if you put $500 into it, it would have been worth $1,500 in like 2 hours. So it's a crazy way. It's a crazy way to make a lot of money. But again, if you don't know what you're doing, you could really hurt yourself. So for sure. And like Tony says, I don't understand the delta, theta, vega jargon related to options. Definitely day trade them. It's just fancy. Like theta just means time. It's just a fancy way of saying it. Delta is the variance of it, whatnot. You don't need to know like the stupid Greek alphabet stuff. Just know that like there is a time element to it. It's not like holding a stock where you can hold it forever and you're just not penalized. But like if you hold an option, it just gets less and less valuable. And don't trade like 0 days to expiry options either. I think that's like super risky. Well, unless you want to take a risk, but I wouldn't do that either. So that's my recommendations.
You always say that. I want to take a chance.
Well, definitely sell covered calls. There's zero risk to that. And actually, you really should do it if you hold the stock. You're if you don't do it, you're actually hurting yourself like financially. So that's like something I've done with like GameStop, for example. I just talk about this GameStop options chain. So what I do is I don't like this options chain. So I'll like go all out. I go to like 80. The stock right now is like $22, I think. I'll go out to like 80, 90, or $100, and I'll sell calls on my shares. And if it hits 80, 90, 100, like you're forced into selling, but I'll gladly sell for 80, 90, or 100. But like you just pocket the premiums every single week. That's just what I do. I like right now it's May 31st. I'll go out to June 7th, which is next Friday. And then I'll sell calls at either 80, 90, or 100, like depending what the best deal is. And I just do that every week and just get paid. So it's like, it's a super easy way to do it. And just a good way to make money. So definitely recommend that. Sue asking, let's get into some bets. Quacky, pick one. MGM Stanley Cup winner futures: Panthers plus 150, Stars plus 260, Oilers plus 270, Rangers plus 800. So it would be helpful to pull up the NHL playoff bracket, because I don't know this myself. So
Panthers just went up 3-2 tonight.
Panthers up 3-2. Oilers and Stars are 2-2. Unfortunately, I didn't hedge with the Oilers with my Vancouver pick. I was tilted from the DeChambeau losing to Schauffele in the PGA Championship, so I just didn't do it. And I was like, yeah, I'm due to win one, and it didn't happen. But anyway, who do you like here?
The Panthers NHL really do look unstoppable. And, I should have betted, because even after the Panthers lost game 3 and went down 2-1, I remember thinking, I was like, even though they lost this game, like it's pretty clear they're the better team. But Rangers plus 800, the Rangers are really good. Like, I think they might be the second best team, with maybe the best team being Florida. So, the thing is, if you they could definitely win 2 games in a row. The Rangers are really good. But the way Florida's playing, that's tough. I think that has the most value, but I'm probably not going to take any of them. I do kind of like the Stars, but I really think that's why they're the favorite. The Panthers look really good.
Oh, so okay. So no bet for you then.
Yeah, nothing for me, but I would actually take the Rangers for the value. If they win one game, that's going to be back down to like 5-1.
Yeah, you're right. That is 8-1 seems pretty good. And
yeah, and they're not.
Yeah, anything can happen, but yeah. What'd you say?
Yeah, they're not just going to like roll over. They're a really strong team. So, I really like the Rangers. I'm not going to take it, but I would. It has the most value out of that.
Yeah, Bet365 is Rangers plus 950.
Yeah,
so Tony says heading over Walt's Football to see who he follows. Definitely need the notifications. I'll give them to you right now. Let's see here. This is I follow. Stock MKT News with Z at the end. This is pretty good. I think this this is probably the best one. I think they get the news out faster than anything, than anyone I've seen. So stock MKT News with a Z. Another one is this is really good too. Wall Street Engine. That's Wall ST Engine. I think they're like, this is like 1A and 1B. They're my two favorites. And then Unusual Whales. You may know about that account, unusual_Whales. Those are the three I have notifications on. So yeah, whenever I just have Twitter up, I just have my like phone at the ready. And then as soon as something happens, like I'll see the notification, I'll be like, okay. Like sometimes it's like stupid news that like yeah, it'll be like EA like announces some new video game. Like, okay, that's not gonna move the stock at all. But like sometimes it's like crazy. Sometimes it's crazy news. Like there was about a month ago, I think it was like Yahoo suing Google or something. So I bought Google puts, and that actually made a good amount of money. So you just have to like diagnose the news. Like you'll see the news and you'll be like, okay, is this going to impact anything? Like, and then you kind of have to make a quick decision because it could really go in the news. So yeah, like the Nvidia stock, it crashed today. I don't know if you saw that.
I don't follow it, so
yeah, look at this today. Here's like, it was like 3:25. This is when I was driving to get my son. It was about 11. It was 11:13. No, sorry, it was 11:28. And then it just plummeted. It went down to as low as I think it was 1080, 1090. No, that's after hours. Here it is, 1098. That's when I was at the red light and I saw it and I was like, oh yeah, I'll sell now. And then look what happened 5 minutes later, up to 11:06. It just spiked at $8 out of nowhere because I guess people are like, oh, I'll buy the dip. Just not knowing what the news is. And so, look, after hours is 1093. So the idiots who bought and screwed me over, they lost money. So just like bad news. So like, yeah, you're going to see like stuff like that. And you kind of have to like understand what the news is. And like, sometimes I mess up. Like there's one thing today where like all three accounts said that like Elon Musk is going to be in Trump's cabinet as not cabinet, but like on an advisory board about cryptocurrency. And so this was really frustrating. So I bought calls on Coinbase and Marathon. And the stocks move up a little bit and then they crashed. I'm like, what is going on here? So like I lost money on my calls. And apparently like Unusual Whales came out with a tweet saying like Elon Musk did not discuss anything with Donald Trump. So I was like, oh, so it was fake news. And so I sold my calls. I'm like, okay, this is going to come crashing down. And then like I was doing something like 20 minutes later. I didn't see this piece of news until too late. And it said, Elon is definitely interested in being on Elon while not talking to Trump is interested in being on his advisory board. And so Coinbase went from like 236 to I'll point it up here. I'll pull it up here. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Coin right here. So I bought like around here and it went up a little bit. Then it came crashing down. Like I bought it like 239 calls when it was 239 and it went to like 242. I'm like, oh, this is great. And it just crashed down to like 235. And I like sold around here. And then it went up to 243 because of the other news. So like I missed that other news. I was so pissed off. But yeah, but usually the news is like legit. But you know, there was that screw up today. I was really frustrated. But yeah. Good luck with the options trading. Like I said, definitely watch one of those videos as an introduction. But yeah, it's like once you get the hang of it, it's super easy. It's just like there just might be just like a slight learning curve. It's like a lot of stuff. But it's once you get the hang of it, you can definitely do it. So all right. So what about NBA? Let's see here. So NBA, we got NBA Finals. We got Celtics are minus 220, Mavericks are plus 184 to win the finals. Do you have a lean on this series? If so, who?
I mean, my heart's saying the Mavericks, but I don't know. The Celtics have looked pretty strong, and I'll tell you what. Like, I know that they just swept the Pacers, But I swear, like every time I watched a Pacers game, even in the losses, I feel like they were making like every freaking shot. Like every time I watched a Pacers game, like play against the Bucks, they had some games like they couldn't miss. They couldn't freaking miss. I was actually getting frustrated. So I guess I'm suggesting that the Celtics are the real deal because I think they made that sweep look, I mean, it's a sweep, so it was easy, right? Against a team who's a lot better than people think. I think that Pacers team is pretty good. They're deep. So I don't know. I think, they're definitely the better team. But I would like to see Dallas win it. I love Luka. So,
I was not as impressed with the Celtics sweep of the Pacers for two reasons. One is that 3 of the 4 games came down to the wire. Both games in Indiana had leads in the fourth quarter and they blew them. And second, the Pacers didn't have Tyrese Halliburton in games 3 and 4. And this is like a trend with the Celtics in the playoffs. Like think about their 3 series. They had Miami in round 1, which was 4-1. Jimmy Butler didn't play at all. So Miami was down its best player. In round 2, it was 4-1 as well. I believe was it 4-1. Anyway, whatever. The Celtics won the series. The Cavaliers didn't have Jared Allen the entire series, and then Donovan Mitchell was out the final 2 games, I think, or maybe 3, but definitely the last 2 games. So the Cavaliers are missing all their best player as well. And then in the Pacers series, Halliburton was out for 2 games. So Boston dodged Jimmy Butler, Miami's best player. They dodged Donovan Mitchell for half a series, Cleveland's best player, and they dodged Tyrese Halliburton for half a series, Indiana's best player. Like this is the luckiest run I've ever seen, and that's not to say that the Celtics are like super lucky team. They don't deserve to be in the finals. I thought they would get to the finals to begin with, so I'm not surprised they're here. But I think that for them to be minus 220, I think is absurd. I think that Dallas is equal or maybe better to Boston. I mean, like Dallas, like the way they dismantled Minnesota was really impressive. And Minnesota is a team that beat Denver, the defending champions, in round 2. And Minnesota swept the Suns in round 1. And I like the Suns. I thought they had a chance to go the distance. And like the way that Minnesota played against Denver, I'm like, oh, okay, that's why they swept Phoenix. And then Dallas just like, to quote Emmett, debacled them. Like it was not even close. Like it was 4-1, and tonight you saw what happened. Like Dallas, I think Dallas just kind of like slacked off in Game 4 because I think that we've seen Dallas do that. Like they've slacked off in some games this series. That's why I like Minnesota in Game 4, and then I took Dallas tonight, and Dallas just walloped them. I think Dallas is potentially the better team, and just look what they've done in the playoffs. Like, yeah, the Clippers didn't have Kawhi Leonard for the most part in round 1, but in round 2 they beat the number 1 seed in 6 games, and really would have been 5 games. Like they lost that Game 4 to Oklahoma City because Luka Doncic hurt his knee and like he could barely walk in the second half. They had a huge lead, they just blew it. So that would have been a 5-game series had Luka not gotten hurt. And then they beat Minnesota in 5. Again, a team that just beat the defending champions. So I think what Dallas has done so far has been more impressive, and Dallas has been so much better since the trade deadline because they made some moves to get better defensively, and they've been the best defensive team in the NBA since the trade deadline. And Boston's down Kristaps Porzingis, like that's a big deal. So I think Dallas is a better team here. I like the plus 184. I'm going to try to find something better, but I will be betting it. I'm going to put that on the site, but yeah, I'm going to be betting Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, now you're kind of talking me into it as well. I mean, I really think, I don't know, maybe this will be like one of these Tatum and Luka. This will be like the new Bird and Magic Johnson. Maybe we'll see this matchup again, huh?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I'm just making stuff up out of thin air here. I think. Go ahead.
No, Slew's asking how those matchups won the regular season. Let's see scores. Okay, so Celtics won both games. One was after the trade deadline. Let's see what happened in those games. Let's see who played, whatnot. So this was January 22nd. Tatum and Brown both went nuts with 39-34. Luka played, Kyrie Irving played. But again, this is before the trade deadline. So The Mavericks got better since that trade deadline, but after the trade deadline, the Celtics won 138-110. Doncic did play. Irving did play, so the Celtics won pretty easily. I believe the Celtics had Porzingis then, though. Keep that in mind. Porzingis is out. That is a huge deal.
He's out for the whole series. Yeah.
I believe so. He hasn't played in the playoffs yet, so I believe so. You might want to check on that, but yeah, I think he'll be out. So yeah, the Celtics are down one of their best players, probably their third best player. So yeah, I like Dallas here. I think they've been so much better since the trade deadline, and plus you never know that this game, like maybe it was a second end on a back-to-back for Dallas. Like who knows what the circumstances of this game was. I think it's tough to just look at a score and just determine, hey, Team A beat Team B, so Team A must be a lot better, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I can't believe the NBA. Is it good?
Oh no, go ahead. You can finish what you're saying.
I was about to say, like the NBA is all about, like in the regular season, we had so much success in the regular season because like it's all about like the biorhythms and teams, and like a team, if they have a back-to-back and like they have a tough second opponent, like they're gonna take the first game easier. Like there's so many games, like teams can't go all out all the time, and so they have to manage themselves. And like if you realize how these teams are going to manage themselves, like you can have a good edge in the betting because that's something that people don't look into. So again, like we don't know the circumstances of this game. Like the Celtics may have had 3 days rest and Dallas played the prior night, or Dallas had another game coming up and Boston didn't. Like there's so many factors here that it's just tough to read, you know. So all right, so what are you gonna say?
I can't believe Dante Exum is in the finals. I remember going to the Orlando Magic 2014 draft party at the arena, and everyone, all the Magic fans were saying like Dante Exum, we want Dante Exum, and then they called Aaron Gordon's name. They drafted Aaron Gordon, remember?
Yeah.
And people were like, "What?" And then Exum never like really panned out, but like now here he is, like coming off the bench. So I'm happy for him, you know.
Yeah, it's like
the Magic faithful wanted him so bad because we thought who was before us? Maybe it was the Sixers or whoever was. I think we had the fourth pick. Whoever was 3, we thought they might take Dante Exum. And I remember when they didn't, like everyone in the arena cheered and Dante Exum. Like the Magic wanted Dante Exum really bad. Mm. The fans did.
Yeah, reminds me of that.
Aaron Gordon, what?
Reminds me of the 99 draft when all the Eagles fans wanted Ricky Williams and they took McNabb. And they booed McNabb because of that. And like you always heard the stories like, oh, Eagles fans booed McNabb. Like, no, they were booing the organization. They weren't like, why would they boo McNabb? Like, they made no sense. Why would they boo their next quarterback? It's so stupid.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
Yeah,
they should have taken Achilles Smith, you know?
yeah, Achilles Smith. What about Cade McNown, who to this day I've never seen a weirder stance in the shotgun than Cade McNown. Like if you watch, I don't know if you ever seen Cade McNown play, but like he would like stand like sideways in the pocket and like he would just catch passes. Like it was like remember Paul Ettinger, the kicker who like the corkscrew kicker. Like Cade McNown would stand like that in the pocket. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like no wonder he sucked. It's so strange.
Hey, McNown's a legend though, man.
Cade McNown, yeah. Legend of what?
Yeah, legal legends.
All right, so Cassandra says true, but the Celtics haven't had Porzingis and still cruise to the series. Yeah, but I mean, are they going to get Porzingis back though? Like, if they don't, then like the point is moot. But if they do get Porzingis back, which I haven't heard, then yes, that changes everything. And then if Porzingis returns, I'm not going to bet Dallas at plus 184. Maybe a better number if I see it, but I think having him back is a huge deal. But if he doesn't return, that doesn't matter. Tony says Mavericks are the best player, which is true. Celtics played trash opponents. All opponents' stars were injured. Yes, just said that. Celtics avoided Sixers, Knicks, and Bucks. I mean, those teams had injured players too. Like this, I've never seen a playoff like this where it seems like everyone's gotten hurt. Sixers, yeah. I mean, Embiid came back, but he wasn't healthy. Like you could tell. The Knicks lost. They had 4 key players out by the end of that Pacers series, and the Bucks didn't have Giannis. So like this playoffs could have been so much different if all the key players were healthy. It's just so weird. Aaron Gordon lost his brother today. Did he really? That's
terrible.
Sorry to hear that.
Geez.
And it says Kyle Buller and Jim Druckenmiller also suck like Abe McDowell. Yeah, those I love those old names.
Don't forget about Fat Jim Miller.
Fat Jim Miller had some good years.
He had his heyday,
yeah. 2003 when he led the Bears to 11-5 season, second round of the playoffs. They played the Eagles. The Eagles killed them, but Fat Jim Miller was good that year.
McNabb had some good years too. I mean, you know what's so weird? It's funny that he came up here because I was thinking, I don't even know why. Yesterday I was thinking about, remember the game in 2008 against the Bengals, the tie?
Yes.
And McNabb was like, oh, first he tried to say that the ref told him that there would be a second overtime. It's like, that didn't happen. And he's like, in the press conference afterwards, he was like, hey, to see a Super Bowl that ended in a tie, it's like, dude, stop talking. Stop saying words, man. Like, you're making a fool of yourself. He did that sometimes. Remember that time with that same year, actually, he debacled himself when he said, remember, because they like just snuck into the playoffs. Remember on the last game of the season, they debacled the Cowboys. And then they snuck in and they beat the Vikings with Tavares Jackson.
That's right, yeah.
And then they upset the number 1 seed Giants. It was a weird score, too. It was like 26-11 or something. It was a weird score. And so then they played the Cardinals. And like after they beat the Giants, they like interviewed McNabb and like, what do you have to say? They made the NFC Championship game. And Donovan McNabb goes, oh man, 5 NFC championships. It's like, no. 1. 5 NFC championship games, you dummy. I just felt like, and I don't mean to rag on him, but it's just like, dude, like, I don't know. He would just always seem to say like dumb things. Not like Cam Newton style, but.
Yeah, I mean, Cam Newton's in a class of his own with Emmitt Smith. Like, it's those two guys. McNabb was he had some great years in Philly. 2004 really stood out when they had Owens. But no, I think that, I mean, we've seen Andy Reid with his quarterbacks too. Like, I wonder how McNabb's career would have gone if he didn't have Reid as his head coach. No, I don't think he would have been bad or anything, but I don't think he would have been like the Pro Bowler that we saw in Philly, just because like Andy Reid has always gotten the most out of his quarterbacks. Like he's an incredible coach. And a good looking coach, apparently. I don't know if you saw the poll today where they asked women how attractive they thought coaches were. They ranked them from like 1 to 10, attractive, 1 being the worst. Andy Reid was ranked as the 5th most attractive coach in the NFL.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, that's pretty awesome.
Hashtag still got it.
Yeah, nice. Robert Saleh was number 1. I believe Mike McDaniel was up there too. I think Kyle Shanahan was number 2. But I was really disappointed to see Dan Campbell, number 32. Women do not like the manliness of Dan Campbell.
Really?
Yeah, I was disappointed.
Yeah, what's this poll based on, though? Do they even poll anybody?
Yeah, I always hate polls. They're like, they release these polls like based on 1,000 people. It's like what 1,000 people did you ask? Like all cat ladies with green hair, like their opinions, like who are you asking? I feel like 1,000 is never enough.
That's like I was telling you. I remember because I remember exactly what you said, and I laughed so hard. I was telling you about that Manti Te'o documentary, and they brought Renaya, the catfisher, onto Dr. Phil because he could do that voice that sounded like a female voice. I mean, it really did. Mm-hmm. And Dr. Phil's like, these experts say there's like a 1 in 10 million chance this is your voice. It's like 1 in 10 million chance. You tell me tested this out on 10 million people. You just wrote sounds made up.
Oh man, I remember that.
I don't know why, but just 3 words. Sounds made up. It does. It does.
Oh man, that was a crazy story.
10 million. How the hell do they know that? I mean,
yeah, it sounds made up. It really does. I think. Oh man, that's crazy. No, that story is insane. It kind of hit close to home because I was catfished when I was 18. I was a freshman at Penn State. it's actually from someone I thought I knew. Like as like this girl Sheila. She actually she was a junior and I was a senior, and when we were in high school, and she invited me to her prom. And we both liked each other, but like I don't know, I was a weirdo in high school, and I guess she like caught wind of that, and so I like had trouble talking to women back then. Like I don't know, they weren't women, I guess they were girls back then. So like I don't know, I was just super awkward, and so I guess I don't know, she just lost interest. But no, when I was a freshman at Penn State, I got an IM from Sheila. I'm like, oh, I just I kind of forgot about her because I was like into some other girls, but I did like her. So and so we just talked for a while, and then actually, it's a long story. I could tell the whole story at some point in the future, but actually turned out to be her friend who was just messing with me. So yeah, it was
that's really terrible.
Yeah, I know, it was horrible. Like I was talking to this person for like a month, and I just assumed it was her. It was not like some random IM that I got from someone. It's like, hey, I'm some girl. Like, I would not be trusting of that, but I thought it was her. And like, she actually knew some stuff about me because, she talked to Sheila about me. So,
right.
Yeah. So I just assumed it was her. And then, it just sucked.
Yeah, but like, that really sucks. But there's not really any defending you can do on that on your end. Where like
right.
I'm pro like Manti Te'o. Like I think he got like a really bad rap for what happened to him, but like he also like he should have done like his due diligence better than he did before he went up like on the line and said like my girlfriend, like the love of my life. But like at the end of the day, like you can tell like he has a good heart. Like he wanted to see the best in people. Mm-hmm. He didn't want to believe that someone, that someone was capable of doing that. And especially at the time, like he didn't have any concept of it. But like certain things like when like he never like even like FaceTimed with her. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I would have thought that. But, like, in the situation you just said, it's like you thought it was, like, the screen name of this person you knew and you've talked to before. That, like, that's a mean trick.
Yeah, it was like, when I found out, it was, like, the person pretending to be her. She was saying, oh, we should meet up during your fall break. And so I was so excited. I came from during fall break. I went to the location, and she just didn't show up. And then I talked to her online the next day. I'm like, what happened? She's like, oh, like I just couldn't make it. I'm sorry. This is before cell phones, So, like we agreed to meet up again that same fall break, and she didn't show up again. At this point, I was like, what the hell's going on here? And we had a mutual friend, Heather. I met her through Heather. And I asked Heather, I'm like, hey, what's going on with Sheila? She like, we're supposed to meet up twice. Like she didn't show up. Like, and then she's acting weird online now. And Heather's like, oh, I don't know. I'll ask her. And then the next day, Heather IMs me. I'll never forget this. She goes, Walt, Sheila has not talked to you since the junior prom. I'm like, what? Like, it just blew my mind. I'm like, what? Wow. Yeah. So that was, it's a whole huge story. I could talk at length about like what happened.
That's so weird because it's like, they're pretending to be somebody like they knew, like as opposed to like Renaya, like didn't really know, you know what I mean? Like didn't know Manti. Yeah. So like, I don't think there's like anything at all you could like. I don't think you should like feel like anything negative about that because like there's literally nothing you could do to. You already knew this person, like you knew that as her screen name. Like that's messed up. That like also like the real Sheila, like that has to be like. Like, did she find out about that? That had to be fucking weird. Sorry for my language. That had to be fucking weird.
Yeah, no, I mean, she did find out about it. It was some guy she knew. I was talking to a guy. Like, it was this dude Joe, and he actually was crazy. He had a couple months after this all happened. Like, he IM'd me from the same screen name, and he's like, hey, well, I have to really apologize for what happened. He's like, you won't believe what happened to me ever since this whole thing. He's like, I lost my girlfriend, I lost my job. Like, he's like, well, my pet died. Like, he listed like all these bad things that happened to him. And I think he kind of maybe he thought it was like bad karma from like from tricking me. I don't know if that was the case or not, but he actually like apologizes. He like it was like he went into this whole thing, and he just apologized. And I'm like, yeah, like it was a couple months after that, and so it was kind of like over it. But I mean, this is 23 years ago as well, so it was like so.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, at least it was definitely an awful thing to do, but
yeah.
at least they apologized. Have you ever seen a documentary called Tall Hot Blonde? All one word, Tall Hot Blonde.
No, I mean, my stance on documentaries, but I mean,
oh yeah,
what is it?
Yeah, so long story short, it was like this young, she was like a 18, 19-year-old girl, just graduated high school, cute, tall, tall, hot blonde. That was her screen name. And she was, long story short, she was talking to these two guys that worked at the same place. She lived in a different state. And it was like one guy in his 40s and the other guy was like more her age. He was like 20 or something. She was like 18 or 19. So anyhow, like the three of them have like interactions with each other for like several months. And anyhow, like the older guy ended up shooting the younger dude and killed him.
Wow.
Because like he liked this girl like that they met online and like so anyhow, like, come to find out after the one dude murders the kid, the girl, it was actually the mother of the girl pretending to be her daughter.
Wow.
Like how effed up is that?
Why'd she do that? I mean, did she say, like, was she interviewed?
No, but like the father of the girl did, and he was just like I was not hysterically crying, but like you could like he was crying so hard. Like that's horrible,
Yeah.
Imagine like your wife like did that to your there's crazy and the kid died because of it.
That's insane.
Yeah, people, it's a crazy one. I mean, if you like true crime, I know you love your documentaries. So it's nothing you can't get enough. He said.
Well, I did like the one my octopus teacher. I did like that one documentary.
Oh, okay. So now he's coming around.
that was an incredible thing. My octopus teacher. What an incredible thing to watch.
It's on my list. I need to watch that soon. You're not the only person that's told me it's really good. So.
Oh man, it was a real tearjerker. It was incredible.
Wow.
It was really good. Tony says McNabb did not do well as a Redskin. No, he did not. And that, I mean, he was granted that was toward the end of his career, but that was the first time he was separated from Andy Reid, and we kind of saw what happened. He says, I got to rewatch that Netflix Manti.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
So it says Thigala was real bada today. It was real bada indeed. He was +4. Maybe he can rebound. I wonder what his odds are. So let's take a look now. I mean, I already have too much invested in him, so I'm not going to bet it unless like it's a real juicy number or something. Let's look at PGA Tour, not the BMBA. Well, first of all, let's look at the standings first. We have David Shirts and Skins at -8. He's the leader.
Shirts and Skins.
Sam Burns at -7. I'm really kicking myself here. I like Sam Burns a lot. He was what was he in my model? He was 7th, but the odds on him weren't that good. Like it was like 20. It was like 20 to 1. It was like about the same as Thigala, and like so. I had Thigala first and Burns 7th. But I did like Burns a lot. So this is it's painful to see. Sean O'Hare is a bum. Don't read anything to this. Bobby McIntyre is he's pretty decent. 6 under, I think, is legitimate. Ryan Palmer, this guy blows. Look at this. Cut, 19th, 55th, cut, 74th, 54th, cut, 52nd, cut. This guy's awful. He's 47. What'd you say?
You're like, this guy blows.
He does blow. I know this well because I have 2 legendary Rainmaker cards of his, which are like produce nothing for me. And like I even thought about selling one because it is a legendary card, so it's worth something. But I was like, nah, I'll just keep it. And like he's actually did well today. I'm not expecting that to hold up. Rory is -4. Rory is the favorite entering this tournament for good reason. The last time he played at this course, he won by 5 strokes. It's the Hamilton Country Club. This is the Canadian Open, by the way.
The Hamilton.
Yeah. The good old Hamilton. Eric Van Rooyen's someone we bet. We bet him at 64 to 1, so he's tied for 6th right now. It's just pretty cool. Andrew Novak's okay. Ryan Fox is just okay. Nick Hardy's just okay. Trace Crow, I'm not familiar with him. Then you get to Tommy Fleetwood, who's a really good golfer, but he chokes a lot. But maybe this is the year for the choker because Schauffele won. And then
the year for the choker.
Maybe it is. So maybe Fleetwood will get the victory, but Fleetwood got
bet on Dumont de Chassard.
Dumont de Chassard. So there's one more French sounding name because this is the Canadian Open. Jared Dutoit right here.
Dutoit.
Yeah. Yes. There's some funny names on here. These guys, Etienne Papino. I took French in high school, so I'm kind of familiar with the pronunciation.
Okay. So you're the resident expert. That's good.
Yes. Speaking of resident expert, I reached out to Kenny about. I was asking him about the 7 deadly sins. Like I said before, I was going to make flags and shirts for all of them, and I wanted to get his opinion. I'm like, would you say Nancy Pelosi is more greed or gluttony? And like he responded, he's like, well, I'm Catholic. I'm not familiar with this. I'm not familiar with the 7 deadly sins. I'm like, I didn't even realize. And then I joked yesterday when he was on. I'm like, Kenny's our resident expert here on the 7 deadly sins.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah. Anyway, so McIlroy's great position to win this. I was really upset by this because, as you can see here, he started right here. So he wasn't doing much for a while. He was 1 under after 12 holes, and I was like, man, if Rory finishes 1 under today, I really want to bet him because I think his odds are going to be really good. But then he went birdie toward the end. I said birdie par, birdie. So he's 4 under now, and so let's look at the odds. Rory is the favorite. He's plus 260. He was plus 400 entering the tournament. So even though he's 4 strokes back, he's still the favorite, which is like there's just no value there. Although I do think he or Sam Burns are going to win. They're the 2 favorites, for good reason. Fleetwood is 12-1. Like I said, he's a choke artist, but maybe this is the year for the choker. Bobby McIntyre is 12-1. Like I said, he's just okay. He could win this. I feel like he generally does better in international courses, just because they have different greens and whatnot. But I think that he could do it. David Skins, 14-1. He's the leader right now. I don't expect that to last. Just not.
No, take Skins, man.
Take Skins. Tom says. Let's pull up David Skins' chart here. Yeah, look at this. Driving accuracy minus 1.3 strokes per strokes gained. Approach down. Putting is just average. You need to be a good putter on this course, and he's not. Although he's had some good finishes. He finished 4th at the Cognizant, 7th at the Houston Open, and then 11th. That Zurich was the team event. Then he finished 20th at the Myrtle Beach, which is a weak field. So he's had some like decent finishes. So like maybe he's like not terrible. Then again, he's 42. Like it's a year older than me. That's pretty old. So as we found out earlier. So so I don't know. I'm not really buying the Skins. Eric Van Rooyen's down to 22-1. He was 64-1 to start. Maybe you can get into that. I'm just looking for like good golfers who have great odds here. Like someone like Cameron Young is 50-1 and Corey Connors is 45-1. Like these are 2 of the, I'll say like top 20 golfers, I think. So they have good odds. So why don't we look at like how they're doing? So Corey Connors is 1 under right now. And Cameron Young, I imagine he's about the same. Yeah, he's 1 under as well. Before this tournament, I had Connors at 18th in my model. I had Cameron Young 16th in my model. So I do like them. So I would consider betting one of these, 45 or 50-1. I think that's kind of interesting. But yeah, I mean, like I'm not seeing much else here as far as the odds are concerned, but like those are good golfers who have a chance. Keith Mitchell and Alex Noren is someone we bet on as well. He's 70-1, and he was pretty high in my model. He was he was 4th. How's Alex Noren doing? Alex Noren is even par, so it's kind of far back. It's 8 strokes back, which like you can. Yeah, you can make this up. Like it is a birdie fest course. And I do expect him to play well. How's Keith Mitchell doing? Keith Mitchell's 1 under, so you can look at him as well. I don't think I was as high on him in my model this week. Mitchell was he was only 63rd, so it's because he's not a good putter. Mackenzie Hughes I liked a lot. I think he was 5th in my model, and I imagine Hughes' number is going to be pretty high. So let's look at Hughes. Mackenzie Hughes is 75-1 right now. Look at Ryan Palmer; he's 80-1, even though he's 5th place. It just goes to show you that no one believes in him. And then what about Thigala? Thigala is 600-1. You want to take a shot on the second best golfer on this course? At 600-1. I don't think that's insane. Like, he may not make the cut, but like, what if he goes 7 under tomorrow and he's 3 under, which is like definitely possible. And then he's kind of in position to make a run. I don't think 600-1's like that crazy for Thigala. You could just be throwing money away, but why not take a shot? $1 to win 600.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Give me 100 on it.
100.
How much will $10 pay? Get it?
6,000. Yeah.
Dude, you better put 100 on that. You win 60 grand. Thigala comes back from the dead tomorrow, and you win 60K.
60K.
That'd be awesome.
Oh my god, that'd be incredible. Yeah. You're probably just better off burning the $100 and
yeah.
But yeah. So maybe I'll bet $1 on Thigala just for fun. But I do like Connors. Connors is Canadian. That helps. The Canadian won last year. And Cameron Young is 50-1. I like Cameron Young a little bit better, and his odds are better here. So maybe I'll take something out on Cameron Young. I'll announce it like later on, like after the show. So yeah, I don't know. I like this in between rounds betting. So which it did last week. Last week got Scheffler at 11-1 at the round 1 because he was 2 over. And it was looking good. Like he was second place heading into round 4, and he just apparently I didn't get to watch because it was my wife and I it's our anniversary, and so we went out and stuff like that. So I didn't get to watch. But Jacob was telling me the conditions were really horrible, and so like that probably affected Scheffler's play. So like maybe he would have made a run if the conditions were better. But yeah.
All right, give me 1,000 on Thigala then.
1,000 to win 600 grand, and you can retire for a couple years.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into Game of Thrones. I woke up. I'm on 22 hours straight.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, it's so easy. It's like all of a sudden you look up and we've been talking for 2 hours. So.
I know. Yeah, I have to do the Play Like a Jet podcast after this.
Okay.
So I'll be working till 6 a.m. myself, but that's why I needed this Dr. Pepper. So you watched season 3, episode 3 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Tyrion is such a great character. I love that scene when they're all meeting with Tywin. Yeah, the way he drags the chair over so slowly. That was freaking great. But it was interesting. I noticed it before they made it obvious with the camera work that Littlefinger is really trying to brown nose there. Mm-hmm. He's like so quick to be like sit closest to Tywin and everything. Yeah. So I took note of that. It's like I can't believe the way it is. So Jaime lost his hand.
Yeah, he was considered the best swordsman in Westeros by many. I think Jaime said it himself that there's only like three men in the entire 7 kingdoms who could even challenge him. So yeah, he lost his sword hand. So yeah, you'd have to think that definitely would impact something.
Yeah, I just didn't see that coming. It really seemed like he and Brielle were like starting to like bond there, as they were like captured. So I was like, oh, okay, like it'll be like the unlikely, friendship sort of thing. And then all of a sudden they cut his hand off. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. Brienne, he saved her from being from getting raped. So because he made that lie about the sapphires and Sapphire House. So
yeah, this is I don't. What is going on with Daenerys in that whole situation? Like, we're walking through all those crucified people. Like, get out of there. They need to get out of there.
Well, she wants the army. They want the Unsullied, the eunuch army, basically. So,
I love the translation. That was so good.
Yeah,
that was a really great part.
Yeah. No, so she's trading a dragon for the Unsullied. Do you think that's a good trade? Trading one dragon for, they say the Unsullied soldiers were 10 men. So she's getting how many Unsullied? 7,500 or something. It's basically like 75,000 men. Would you make that trade? Would you trade a dragon for 7,500, the best soldiers in the world?
Well, I think I would, because I think she's got a trick up her sleeve.
Okay.
I think there's, I don't know, give him the old decoy dragon or something. I think there's but geez, you can tell they were really coveted, because then he offered 3 and then he went 2.
Yeah.
She drives a hard bargain with the dragons,
Mm-hmm.
So it's no, I think she has a plan, because it seems like around what are their name, Bannister or Barrett? Is it Barrister or Barrister, right?
Barristan Selmy.
Barrister, yeah, and
Jorah
can't
Mormont.
remember the other guy. I think they, they're kind of constantly advising her, and it seems like they probably think she doesn't know what she's doing, and I think she's gonna that's gonna come back. It's like a big setup where she's gonna surprise us. So I think she has a trick up her sleeve here with the dragon trade. So, hey, that guy out in the snow, he looks like if Santa Claus had red hair. That's a mighty. What's that?
Tormund. Yeah, he's great. He has some great lines in the future.
Okay.
Yeah, he has. Well, you're not going to watch this because this is season 7 stuff, but he meets up with actually I don't spoil it because they will say who's still alive, but he meets up with he sees one of the women on the show, and he says these weird things about her. It's funny. It's weird in a funny way. Once you're done season 6, I'll let you know, because you said you're not going to watch season 7, which you shouldn't. But I'll tell you about the stuff he says. It's pretty funny.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, it's getting interesting too, because when they found all those dead horses there, they didn't see any sign of people.
Right.
So I mean, I guess that's the zombie team, the zombie team in that.
Yeah, zombie horde is they're collecting people, so they're gonna have a huge army coming toward the wall eventually. So that's something for the future. Anything else from the show? I have a couple questions for you.
Okay, yeah, let's hear it. Let's hit me with the questions.
Well, I asked you to pay attention to the song that was singing. They were singing "The Bear and the Maiden Fair."
Yeah. Get the honey out of her hair, lick the honey from her hair.
Yeah, they that's actually and it's a shame because they don't have all the lyrics to do in the book. The Bear and the Maiden Fair is about Jorah Mormont, because they that's a sigil. They come from Bear Island, and so the Maiden Fair is a blonde woman who he sold slaves for, and then she basically she ended up leaving him because he lost all his money. So that's actually a song that they made about him. He was. He was one of the most prominent, houses, and then he had to be banished for selling slaves. So the Bear, the Maiden Fair, is actually about him. So it's something that most people don't get.
I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah. Also, Theon's being tortured, but some guy saves him. Right. That's the episode 3.
He saves him.
He tells him to ride west or something, or east, or I forget.
Yeah, right east.
Right east, and then he's captured, but then that guy shoots him down with the arrows, right? I think. Yeah. What do you think that situation is all about? Who do you think this guy is? Who's saving him?
Man, I don't know. I thought that was really strange that they were going to. I mean, they were holding him down. Why was that guy? Who were those people that were trying to rape him? That's
who do you think those people were? I mean. They gave a huge hint about who they were. I don't think they explicitly said it, but remember he was mounted on the X.
Yeah.
The X is the sigil of House Bolton. You know, and House Bolton is remember one of Rob Stark's like right hand men is like that ball guy, and he said, "I'm sending my bastard to retake Winterfell."
I think so.
Yeah, so that's House Bolton, and their sigil is just an X, and so they had that X there. So you know, it was I guess you could say is Bolton's men were torturing Theon. But yeah, then I'll ask you, like, who do you think the guy was who saved them?
Oh man, I don't have a clue. I don't know, man.
Okay.
Is it the devil child that the red demon girl gave birth to?
No,
I'm just joking.
No, no, you'll find that you'll have a better hint of that in the next episode.
Oh, I bet I know who it was. I bet who is the dude that changed faces for Arya?
Oh, what's his face? No, it wasn't him.
That guy's like Ditto from Pokemon.
No, yeah. No, it wasn't Jaqen Hagar. No, it wasn't him. No, he went east to Bravos. So he's not in Westeros anymore. But you will see him again. But yeah, no, it's a big plot element. This guy who rescues Theon. And it takes a turn in the next episode, as you'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. So, it's basically like the catalyst for the next part of the show.
Okay. Well, this will be interesting. Yeah.
That
was the point blank arrow to the head. Holy cow.
Yeah. that was pretty cool. So, it's something to look forward to. But I mean, anything else, or you want to hang it? You want to head out? I know you're probably tired, so it's about 2 a.m.
Yeah. We'll call it. But no, this was a good episode. We'll have at least one more for next time. But it was a good time, man. As always, I always look forward to doing this.
Me too.
As long as I don't fall asleep.
I know. Yeah.
Monday's going to be 20 years since I graduated high school.
Wow! Congrats. You're going to your 20-year reunion? I
haven't even heard anything that they're doing anything. So
I
haven't really looked that hard either. But
that's weird. Yeah, they usually our people are on top of that stuff. And my 25-year reunion is coming up next year. So I'm sure we'll be talking about that in the future, but so let's get out of here. Please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store. Germ, thank you so much for the 538 super chat. Just really appreciate it. Thank you everyone else for commenting, watching. Really appreciate it. We'll be back Saturday. I'm going to have a special guest, not Casper the Ghost. It will be a real person, unless he for some reason doesn't show up. But I think that I think it'll be an interesting episode. We have some cool talking points it's regarding fantasy, but not like general fantasy stuff, but just like the research he's done into fantasy. So that's it's for something for Saturday to look forward to. So can't wait for that. And then a regular schedule next week. As far as I know. So, Tom, always great to do this with you. Do you want to plug your Twitch channel?
Yeah, get me on there on the old Twitch, Quacky_T. I'll tell you what, I was having the freaking stream of my life yesterday. I was cooking on Rocket League. I've been streaming Rocket League. I've been getting the music going, just rambling, similar to how we do here, and it's a great time. I know some of you joined in, and I appreciate the support. So, Walt, thanks for having me. It was a great time as always.
Yeah, for sure. Once again, guys, will be back on Saturday, and thanks for watching and commenting. Really appreciate it, and have a great start to your weekend, and I'll talk to you Saturday.